Hey everyone, this is Laurie Delk Radecki, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about something I've been learning and training on over the last couple years. And but I always get asked a lot of questions on like, how is this Christian? Is it Christian? Would Jesus do it? Etc. Things like that. So I want to kind of go over some of those things on my thinking of it. So I'm calling this tuning the heart, how emotions speak through the body and how Jesus releases them. So the same thing, God gave us emotions, right? And also Jesus teaches us how we can release them. And so when I do work with me or with clients, I'm always praying over myself, over my clients, and for our session together. And so it's something that has completely changed how I see healing, peace, leadership, and even prayer. But the biggest thing is it's something that most people were never even taught. So we're taught to think our way through life. We're taught to reason, to push through, to pray harder, or to just have faith. But here's what I've learned, both personally and through walking through it with other people and clients, is you don't live from what you think, and you do live from what you feel. And so, whether we acknowledge it or not, our emotions don't just live in our mind, they live in our body. They influence how we show up spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And so, emotion is movement, it's not failure. So, but let me say this clearly, your emotions are not sins. They're not weaknesses, and they're not something to be ashamed of. We all have emotions, and you don't want to shove them way deep down inside so you don't feel them, because that's more dangerous for you. Your emotions are signals, they're information. They are your body and your soul telling you something needs attention. The problem is that most of us were taught to suppress the emotions. Just like I said, shove them way down deep inside so we don't have to express them or feel them. We're taught to judge the people's emotions, right? Oh, they're just being emotional. Or we're taught to spiritualize the emotions away or even just ignore them altogether. But what we resist doesn't just disappear, it stores, and it stores in your body. And when your emotions don't get processed, they don't just vanish, they settle in your muscles, in your organs, in your posture, in your breath patterns, in reactions that we don't understand. And so, but your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. And that's something so very important. You might forget an experience, but your body doesn't. Your nervous system remembers the moments of fear, the moments of grief, the moments of rejection, the moments where you felt unsafe or unseen or powerless. And those emotional imprints can quietly influence pain, fatigue, stress patterns, autoimmune responses, emotional triggers, anxiety, and chronic tension, as well as a bunch of other things. So it's not unspiritual, and it's not that you just got that, right? There's different things that cause it, but these emotions can also help different things or hurt different things. It's not unspiritual. It's how God designed our body, and our body is honest. Our body will tell us the truth. So emotions are not the enemy, they're the messenger. And so think of emotions like a dashboard in your car. When a light comes on, you don't curse at the light or put tape over it or pretend it's not there, right? You ask, what is this alerting me to? Emotions are the same way. Fear says something doesn't feel safe. Anger says a boundary was crossed. Sadness says something mattered. Guilt says I took responsibility that was not mine. The emotion isn't the problem, but ignoring it is definitely the problem. Jesus never suppressed his emotions, he redeemed it. This is where faith comes in beautifully because Jesus wept, Jesus felt compassion, Jesus felt righteous anger, Jesus felt sorrow, and Jesus withdrew to pray when he was overwhelmed, right? He never told people to ignore what they felt. He invited them to bring it into the light. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3, right? It doesn't say deny the wound, it says heal it. So awareness comes before the release. And this is where most people get stuck. They say, I've prayed about this. Oh, I've forgiven. Oh, I've moved on. I've moved forward. But the difference is, if your body is still holding the charge, that's a problem because release requires the awareness. You can't release what you don't acknowledge. So I teach people to start here. What am I feeling right now? Honestly, without judging myself, not what should I feel, which is what I said most of my life, right? What should I feel? How should I act? What's spiritually correct? But think about what is actually present. And then where do I feel it in my body? Do I have a tight chest? Do I have a heavy stomach? Do I have a clenched jaw? Do I have aching shoulders? Do I have pressure in the throat? Because your body will tell you. And emotion is not identity. And this is so important. You are not your emotion. You're the observer of that emotion. The emotion is an experience, not who you are. So instead of saying something like, I am angry, change it and say, I am noticing anger. That small shift creates safety in your nervous system and it allows your body to soften. And that's when change can happen. And then next, invite Jesus. Invite Jesus into the process. This is where it becomes sacred. Once you've identified the emotion, you've identified the body area, and you identify the memory or the feeling attached. You don't have to identify the memory if it's something hurtful. And that's where a lot of times people going to therapy, you don't have to bring up the old memories. You can just identify the feeling attached to it. You don't force it away. You don't have to analyze it to death. You simply invite Jesus into the process. And you say something like, Jesus, I am aware of this feeling. I don't want to carry what's not mine anymore. If this emotion is ready to be released, I ask you, Jesus, to take it away now. No striving, no performance, no pressure, just surrender. And release doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a deep breath or a yawn. Sometimes it's tears. Sometimes it might just be a feeling of warmth or a little tingling, or even just a feeling of peace or clarity. But that's a memory gently losing its charge and healing. And that's it. Emotion is energy. and it can be transformed. So emotions don't have to be fought. They just need to be completed. So when an emotion is allowed to move through your body, that fear can soften into trust, and that anger can redirect into strength, and the sadness can open up into compassion, and grief can turn into gratitude. That's not denying pain, it's redeeming it. And it's part of the reason that my Gratitude Girls partner, Catherine, and I created Gratitude Girls way back in 2013 after my kid's dad was killed in a car wreck. Gratitude is the fastest realignment. If someone feels stuck, if they don't know what to pray, if the emotion feels confusing, I bring them back to gratitude because gratitude tells the body, I am safe right now. Gratitude tells the nervous system the threat is past. Gratitude creates a coherence between the heart, the brain, the breath, and the spirit. And the Bible confirms this over and over. Give thanks in all circumstances, not just some, but in everything. 1 Thessalonians 5:18, right? It's not because everything is good, but because gratitude restores order. This is emotional maturity, not emotional control. God never called us to suppress our emotions. He calls us to steward them, to take care of them. That's maturity. That's noticing the emotion, listening to it, learning from it, and releasing what no longer serves us. That's freedom. And so here's a daily practice that you can do. And it's so simple. And just write this down. 1, pause, take a moment, and then ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? And then notice, where do you feel it in your body? Is there a tension? Is there a pain? Is there anything? And then breathe slowly in deep through your nose for 4. Hold it for the count of 2, and then out through your mouth for 6. And invite Jesus into the picture. Release what's ready and thank God and choose peace. Literally, that's it. 5 minutes could change your day, and doing it consistently could change your life. So just remember, emotions are not weakness. Emotions, God gave them to us, and they're the language of the heart. And when you listen with compassion, when you involve Jesus in the process, when you stop fighting what you feel, then you create space for real healing. You're never meant to carry everything forever, and some things are meant to be felt, to be learned from, and then released. And Jesus is faithful to do exactly that. So I hope this helped you. And if you have any questions or anything I can help you with, please reach out to me. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.